have to say that we've been sitting back waiting on the planners, and we haven't done a real good job of keeping everybody informed because we've been waiting for something to tell you. And we'll get around to that in a minute. How many of you have been coming to these meetings? This is not the first meeting that you've been to, so I'm going to run through what we've done so far to bring you up to speed, but I didn't know how much time I needed to spend on that. First of all, what we're here to discuss is the Prosperity Bucks area plan. It's the proposed use plan. And what the proposed use plan is once this is adopted by City Council, then it will be what is outlining what the people that live here and City Council and the planners would like to see happen in our neighborhood. That's what a proposed use plan is. It still means that an individual developer has to come in and apply for a rezoning in order to put a particular product in that plan. But this plan will help dictate to those developers what we expect to be built there. And that's why it's so important that we get involved and we know what's on this plan, because this is the beginning of a whole village, of a whole development. And if we're not part of it now, we'll have a very difficult time having any say about what takes place. What you see on the screen up there is the plan that they have proposed. Back in February, just to run through it real quick, bring you up to date, there was a card sent out. I don't know whether you guys got one of these or not, but I did, because we have some land not far from this, or adjoining, it's in the middle of this plan. This was alerting citizens out here that the planning staff was going to City Council with this plan for a public hearing. At that particular time, I started looking at the plan. I'm in the real estate business. I've been in the real estate business for about 25 years, commercial real estate and residential. But when I started looking at the plan, I started looking at some of the designations on the plan of what exactly they were calling for to be built there. And in doing that, I kind of shocked myself. I said, oh my gosh, there's a ton of multifamily going in here. The whole time I thought they were going to build a village. Well, I was surprised to find out their interpretation of the village was people packed on top of each other and beside each other. So at any rate, I started pointing that out to a few people that I get together and eat breakfast with, and we said, man, this is terrible. We can't have this. So I called Kent Main. Kent Main is the man that's in charge of this plan out here. He's the #1 man on the development of this plan. And I asked him, how could we stop this public hearing? And he said, you can't. I said, who decides? He said, I do. I said, are you the only person? He said, no, the City Council gets to make a decision too. I said, well, I'm talking to the wrong person. I hung up, and I had to look up who is our City Councilman. And that's bad. We should know our City Councilman, because he is the one up there voting on everything that it's going to affect this community. But his name is Greg Phipps. He was, for those of you that came to Donnie's barbecue barn up here, Ayler's barbecue barn, Greg Phipps was there. Anyway, I called Greg. Greg met us for breakfast that morning. And 30 minutes after he left, he said, I've got to postpone this. I've got to call off that public hearing. He gave us time to work on this. Otherwise, it would have been passed. It would be a done deal. So we owe a debt of gratitude to Greg Phipps. At any rate, we were able to organize the community to the best of our ability, which we need to improve on that. Mallard Creek is what I call this neighborhood. Many of you may not know what Mallard Creek is or haven't heard that term, but I grew up on a dairy farm where the Harris Teeter is, and many of these people sitting here grew up out here, and this has always been Mallard Creek, and it still is to us. So if I say neighborhood, I'm not talking about Lee Croft or Highland Creek. You're all my neighbors, and we all live in Mallard Creek. So we're not talking about specific neighborhoods, we're talking about Mallard Creek. We're all neighbors. At any rate, we were able to get enough people there to make enough noise to get their attention.